Hello bestie, I welcome you all back to my channel. I am Aisha. In this video I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this short dress with cap sleeve with no joining at the side and at the center back. If you are new to my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video you will be notified. Stay tuned till the end of the tutorial. These are the material I will be using: 2 yard of Ankara, 1.5 yard of Aba lining, and I have zip that will be fixing at the front part, 30 inches zip. I will be drafting it on this pattern paper first. I will be taking the shoulder measurement. You divide your shoulder by 2. I will be coming down by 8.5 for the armhole length. Here you take your shoulder measurement, divide by 2, and draw a straight line up this way. We have our armhole length. The length I have on this pattern paper is 35.5. The length I'm using for the dress is 38 inches. I will be adding the remaining inches to it when placing it on the main fabric. The bust length I'm using is 10.5. The under bust is 14 inches. The waist length is 17 inches. You make it a straight line. For the neck, the width of the neck I'm using is 2.5. The depth for the front is 3 inches. Is round neck. You use your French curve to create your round neck this way. I'll be coming down by 1 at the armhole length for us to create our shoulder slope. You drew it this way. Whatever remains here, you divide it by 2. That's the midpoint of the armhole. I'll be going inward by ½ inch, but first I go inward by 1 inch, but I later decide to use ½ inch because this is cup sleeve. That's why I'm making use of ½ inch for the inward at the midpoint of the armhole. You take your bust circumference, divide by 4, chest line, bust line, under bust, waist line. You take your waist measurement, divide by 4. You shape it at the side. This is it. Now I will be taking the bust palm. You divide your bust palm by 2. I'm making use of 8 inches. I divide it by 2. I have 4. You take that measurement on your bust line, under bust, and the waistline, and you drew a straight line this way. I'll be taking the dart. I'm making use of dart of 1 inch, half inch at each side. For the tightening at the under bust, I will be taking 1 inch at the armhole side, and at the center I will be taking ½ inch. You connect it to the waist this way. You can see. Now we need to curve it to the bust point from the under bust. You use your French curve to curve it this way. At this other side, you use the side of your French curve. This curve is not that curvy. You use the side of your French curve to create the curve at this side. You can decide to use 1.5 depending on how you want it. You use your French curve to create your armhole this way. The dart of the bust here is connected to the neck. We need to take the neck measurements. You take it all round this way. After taking it all round, you divide it by 2. That will be the midpoint of the neck. You connect that midpoint to the bust point. This is the midpoint. You connect it this way with your ruler. I will be taking side dart of 1 inch at the bust line. You come down by 1 and connect it to the bust point this way. You can decide to use 1.5 for the side dart depending on how you want it. For the down part of the dress, the side will be cut out, but the center will be cut together with the down part. You take your bust palm. The bust palm I'm using is 4 inches. You take that bust palm from the waist downward and make it a straight line. This is it. We have our front pattern. This dart is going out. The side dart is going out also. I'll be cutting it out. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. I will be drafting the back for you to see the difference of the back and the front. The length I'm using for the back is 16 inches. Because of the side dart at the front, you minus whatever you use for your side dart from the waist length of the front to get the length of the back. I'm using 10.5 for the bust line, same way as the front parts. I will be taking the shoulder measurements. You divide your shoulder by 2. I will be coming down by 8.5. You take your shoulder measurement here also and straighten it for us to create our armhole length. You connect it to the side. Chest line, bust line, waist line. For the neck, same width as the front, 2.5 inch and 1 inch for the depth of the back neck. You curve it with your French curve or with your free hand. I'll be coming down by 1 for us to create our shoulder slope. You connect it this way. Whatever remains here, you divide it by 2. That's the midpoint of the armhole. I will be taking the circumference measurements. You divide your bust by 4 to get your bust and your chest. For your waist, you divide it also by 4. And you connect it this way. You shape it at the side. I will be taking the bust span on the waist line and the bust line. You make it a straight line. We'll be making use of shoulder darts. Whatever you have at the shoulder, you divide it by 2. That's the midpoint of the shoulder. You connect it to the bust point for us to create our darts at the back. This is the back. I'll come to the bust line. I'll be coming up by 1 inch at the bust line. You take your dart of 1 inch, half inch at each side and connect it to the new bust point. You create your armhole this way with your French curve. We have the back. This dart is going out. Very important, don't forget to return your dart, the waist dart at the front and at the back. You return the 1 inch to it when placing it on the main fabric. I will be cutting it out. For the side dart, you slit it this way. You won't slit it to the end. You close it and use your tape to hold it this way. This is the side of the front and this is the center front. I will be cutting the back. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. For us to have a perfect fitting at the center back, we need to contour it at the waist. You remove a 0.7 at the waist and shape it in form of that this way to the upper part. You can see I'll be cutting it out for a perfect fit at the back. This is the back. This is the front. You can see the side, that the side is equal. The side of the back and front is equal. And we need to remove the darts. You cut it this way to eliminate the darts. Now we have our pattern. I will be placing the center front on the fabric first. I have 2 yards of Ankara. This is it. You pick the 2 yard, you fold it into 2. Make sure the folding is equal and use your office pin to hold it together. This side will be at the center because we'll be fixing zip at the center front. The back is on fold. It does not have joining at the center back. If there is need to iron your fabric, you do that. The length of the Ankara is 45 inches. I will be taking the length of the dress. This is the starting point. This is the inches for the joining, the half inch. I will be taking the full length. The full length I'm using is 38 inches. This 38. I will be adding 2 inches to the down part for the folding allowance. You place your pattern this way. At the center front, you leave half inch at the center front for the joining of the zip. That's the joining allowance. And you add half inch to the side. You follow the shape. You add the half inch to the waist. Half inch before the waist. You stop the half inch before the waist. That's where the cutting will stop. You cut it, you can see. That's the waist. I'll go up by half inch. That's where the cutting will stop. You cut it from this point to the back. You remove your half length. That's from your shoulder to your waist. You can see. This is it. You add your half inch to the side. This is the bust point. You indicate the bust point with chalk or you notch it. I'm trying to trim out the excess at that center front. You don't need to add sewing allowance to the neck. This is the down part. You cut out the excess. You notch it at the center back. This is the center back. You notch it. You pick the center back this way to the center front before the half inch. Before the half inch at the center front. You can see. For us to get the side, that's the side, you notch it at the side. That's very important. You fold your fabric into 2 to cut the 2 sides. You add the darts of 1 inch, you return it back to the waist and add half inch for the joining to it. At the bust line, you add half inch for the joining. You shape it. At the down part, you add half inch for the joining to it. At the side, you add half inch to it. At the side, you follow the shape at that side. At the neck, you don't add any half inch to it at the neck. You add half inch to the shoulder and the armhole. You can see the neck. I did not add half inch to it at the neck. I will be cutting it out. If you are on this channel and you've not joined the membership, you are missing. Being a member, you will have access to my special sewing tutorial video. You will be given a badge that will signify you from others, and you will be recognized in all my video. What are you still waiting for? Click on the join button to be a member. This is the side of the front. This is the back. At the waist, you add the 1 inch dart and half inch for the joining to the waist, and half inch to the bust, and shape it at the side. You add half inch to the armhole, to the shoulder, and to the side. This is the center back. I'll be cutting it out. You don't add any inches to the neck, just the side and the down part. This is the upper part of the back. For the sleeve, we are cutting a cap sleeve. You take your round sleeve measurement and straighten it this way. I'm making use of 4 inches for the height of the sleeve, and you give it a curve head. I'll be applying slash and spread method to it. You take your measurement, you can use 1 inch or 1.5, and straighten it downward this way. This is a picture of how to take your cap sleeve measurement. You follow the black line. You slit those lines. You won't slit it to the end. You can see. You pick your fabric, you fold it into 2, and spread it on it this way. You can spread it more than this depending on how full you want your pleats at the upper part. At this upper part, I'll measure 2 inches or 3 inches, you can see, and give it a curve this way. You add half inch to the side for the joining. You can see it. This down part, you add half inch to it for the folding at the down parts. You can see it. You notch it at that center at the upper part. I will be cutting the lining for the center to the back. You cut it same way. The only difference is the length. You reduce the length of the lining by 2 inches at the down. You cut out the wording for the bustier part. From the bust line, I will go up by 2 inches. And from the under bust, I will come down by 2.5 inches. And cut it with the shape this way. From this upper part, you curve it this way to the down part. Same thing applies to the center part that will be joined to the bust. You cut your wording same way. This is it. You gum it to the fabric with iron. I will be adding stay to the lining. You cut it same way. For the sewing, you pick the back part first. This is the center back. I will be joining it at the center back with 1/2 inch. Both the main fabric and the lining. This is it. I've joined it with 1/2 inch. You open the inseam and iron it. I'll be doing that later. You pick the side and join it to the center back with 1/2 inch. Both side. Same thing applies to the lining. This is it. I've joined it and I've ironed it. Both the lining and the main fabric. Now for the side of the front parts. I'll be joining the side of the front part to the side of the back with 1/2 inch. Same thing applies to the lining. Very important, you confirm your bust and waist measurements before joining. I've joined it and I've ironed it. You can see. Now I'll be joining the center part to the side. This is the center. You place it on it, the busty part. You can see. You use your pin to hold it this way. And sew it to the side to the back. You can see, you bring it that way to the side and sew it. For accurate measurements, you place your pattern on it this way and chalk it at the bustier part. You chalk the shape out on it and sew it. You use your pin to hold it. Make sure the bust point meets. The two bust points, it meets. You join it from the waist to the neck. Before the 1/2 inch for the joining allowance, you measure the 1/2 inch and sew it up to the neck. This way. After joining, you notch it at the under bust. I'm cutting out the excess. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. After joining it to the neck, you come back to the waist and start your sewing from that point to the side. I'll be chalking the half inch. That's where the half inch stop. You chalk it and turn it to the side. Now we'll be adding the gathers to it. Make sure the gathers is equal to the side. That's the side. Where we notch should be equal to the side, the center back. You add your gathers to it for everything to be equal. That's very important, so that one side will not be fuller than the other side. You can see. You pick the center back, where we notch for the center back. This is it. You make it equal with the gathers, the down part that we are using as gathers. For this standing effect, you place your crewline to it after adding your gathers to it from the side to the other side, from the right side to the left side. You won't add it to the front part, just from the side for it to have that effect. I don't have crewline, so I did not add it to it, but when sewing yours you can add it to it for you to have that standing effect at that upper part of the side to the back. This is where the other side meets. You use your office pin to hold it together and add your pleat to it. If you have not joined the membership, you are missing. Being a member, you will have access to my special sewing tutorial. You'll be given a badge and you'll be recognized in all my videos. What are you still waiting for? Click on the join button to be a member. You stop your sewing at the side before the half inch. You can see. Now I'll chalk the other side of the bustier on the fabric. You use your pin to hold it together first. If everything is equal, you place your sewing on it downward this way. You notice the other side, we place the sewing from the down, and this side we place the sewing from the neck, because everything is equal. Same thing applies to the lining. You join the lining this way. Now I will need to give it a nice press. I will use the tailoring hem to iron the bustier part. I've ironed it. Now I'll be joining the zipper to the front. You place the right side of your zip facing the right side of your fabric. Use your office pin to hold it down. That's very important. I'll be fixing the zip on both sides. This is it. I'll fix the zip. Now we need to join the lining to it. You open it this way. This is the lining. I will be placing the lining on it. The right side facing each other. You first join it at the down part. This is it. I've joined it. You join it all around at the down part. Now we need to join it to the zipper. You pick it this way and place sewing on that stitch that you use in joining the zip. The stitch close to the teeth of the zip. You place sewing on it downward. Very important, use your office pin to hold it this way before placing your sewing on it. Let me do that. This is it. You can see how neat it is. Now we need to join it at the shoulder. You pick the lining shoulder, you join it together with the front and the back and the main fabric also. This is it. I've joined it together. Now we'll be joining the neck together with the lining. This is it. I've joined the neck together with the lining. After joining, you notch it all around and top stitch on the lining for the sleeve. At the center back of the dress on the lining, I will need to lose the joining. If there is no joining on yours, you can easily look for where there is joining and lose it for us to fix the sleeve that the inseam will not be showing. First, I'll pick the sleeve and turn it with the lining. You place the lining on it, the right side facing the right side, and you join it at this down part with 1/2 inch. After joining, you notch it all round. After notching, you top stitch on the lining. The inseam should be on the lining and top stitch on it. I'll be placing sewing on it all around this way. This is the body. I've ironed it. You iron it. You can see how neat it is. Give it a nice press for the fixing of the sleeve. I'll be coming down from the shoulder of the sleeve by 5.5. You can see 5.5 at the front and at the back. That's where the sleeve will stop on the armhole. You notch the upper part of the sleeve. You place it this way on the main fabric, not with the lining. Here you measure 3.5 upward. You sew it straight to where the 3.5 stop. From where the 3.5 stop to the shoulder, you add your gathers or pleats to it. I'll be showing you how to do that. From where the 5.5 stop, you sew it up this way. I'll measure the 3.5. The straight sewing will stop at that 3.5. After the straight sewing, you add your gathers or pleats to it. You can see to the back. You sew it same way at the back. You can see. This is the sleeve. Now we'll be turning it with the lining. From the center back where I lose, you lose like 5 to 6 inches, and from that point you pick the armhole of the lining and the main fabric this way. You can see the way I pick it. You pick it together, you bring it out this way for us to sew it. Let me do that again. You can see, make sure everything is equal at that point. The lining and the main fabric is equal at the armhole. You can see, you pick it and bring it out to the back of the fabric, and you sew it with 1/2 inch all round. You sew it in all round. Have sew it to some point. This is it. I'll pick it and continue the sewing. You can see it. Make sure you are sewing to the back of the fabric. You sew it all round. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. After sewing, you notch the armhole side, only the armhole side. You don't need to notch the sleeve side. This is the end of the tutorial. If you find this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up. If you have any question or suggestion, you can drop it in the comment section below. Kindly subscribe to my channel and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Watch out for my next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.